My name is Angel and I am a proud mother of an amazing 9-month-old boy. He is free-spirited, full of life, full of energy, funny and kind. But most importantly, I am his student for life. So, which is why I will be sharing a few things that I have learned from this amazing journey called motherhood. And it's not like you finish learning anyway, because nobody hands you a manual. And even if they did, you can't go on a journey that is unique, a journey that is not straightforward. And, you know, it's just special to that mother and child. I've been asked a lot of questions about motherhood, and it's something that I know that I haven't really been transparent about. I haven't really been sharing, and I decided to do it. I mean, now is the time. He's already 9 months old. If you're new here, welcome to the Happy Blacky channel, a space for anyone seeking to live a simple and intentional life. If you'd like to join the family, you just click on the red button that says subscribe below. And if you're already a family member, you already know that I love to have you guys here. So welcome, grab your cup of coffee or tea, water, whatever makes you, you know, happy. No, I didn't suffer postpartum depression, but I would say that there were days that I was really sad. You know, my mood was terrible. I was unhappy. Some days I was really unhappy, but if I'll be very honest. And it's not for the fact that I had a child that made me unhappy. That's very joyful. I was so happy for that. But because there were days that things didn't go as planned. So you always have, you know, what your day is supposed to look like. You plan it perhaps the night before and it just doesn't go as planned. Like I said, nobody hands you a manual and you can't really prepare enough. So it was tough. It was really hard for me. And another thing that helped me, I think, is because before my son, I had a stillbirth. So when I got pregnant with him, I was searching for information like crazy. So postpartum depression was something that I read about, and I won't say prepare, but I was aware of it. I was aware. So most days when I felt so sad or unhappy, I would check to see what are the triggers, you know, why am I feeling this way? What is causing this thing? Is it something beyond my control? Is it something I can overlook, or just simply go with the flow? So that really helped me. I had educated myself on it, and I kept telling myself, this is the life you wanted. Because when I lost my baby before my son 2 years ago, I would have given anything to be a mother. And here am I living this answered prayer. So it was like a battle, constant battle in my mind, in my head, to enjoy this journey. Do I even recognize myself now? See, I felt lost a lot of times, and I remember asking myself, Angel, is this really you? You know, you've changed, both physically and mentally, in a good way, and somehow, I don't want to use the word bad way, but you're not the same. And I remember when I was doing yoga, what is this fly? Come on. I'm not cutting out this part, because I'm not cutting out this part. I'm going to continue. Anyway, so I remember when I was pregnant, I was doing yoga, and my yoga teacher said to me, oh my God, your life has changed. Your life is going to change. And I didn't really get what she meant by that. But indeed, my life has changed, because your body is no longer the same body you know. And I don't think it's ever going to be the same. I'm not going to argue with women who say that you can always have your body back. You could even have something better, but I mean the same. Your body has stretched. You have carried kilos. You've carried a human life inside of you. I have stretch marks. I have a scar for life, you know. My hips are wide. My boobs are going south. I don't know if I should add this, but yeah, so, and in terms of feeling lost, that has to do with my purpose, because you're taking care of a child requires a lot of energy and time, it is draining sometimes. It can be draining, and you start to wonder if you've actually lost it, if you can meet up with where you stopped before you got pregnant or before you gave birth. So yes, I kind of felt lost, you know. And in terms of my purpose, I mean, when I was asking myself, what next, you know, when am I supposed to go back to work? When is the right time to start chasing your goals again? Because whatever plan you have has to evolve around this child, and you judge yourself even before you make these decisions, because you feel guilty even for whatever decision. I remember when my son started daycare at 5 months. He was supposed to have 4 months, and I waited to 5 months because I didn't want anybody to tell me, oh, he's too young. But I knew I needed to write. I knew that I needed my time. I was going crazy. I needed time for myself. And I did it anyway, and I was so happy. That was the best decision. I mean, it was tough the first week, but that was one of the best decisions I made. I have gained some good relationships in this period, and I have lost some, unfortunately. But I feel that everything happens for a purpose, and I feel guilty personally because my relationship with very close friends, I feel, has changed, especially when keeping in touch, because first of all, I don't even really have the time to go back to socializing, you know, with them. Before, it's not like I have a very big social life here in Belgium. I have very few friends, but I also have friends that are outside Belgium. And for example, when they call, my son is always in the background, and I don't know. I feel that it's unfair to them, but there's nothing I can do about that. So sometimes I always have to say, oh, I have to go. I have to change his diaper, or he's really crying, he needs my attention, and that my son can do very well. My friends know that. So he doesn't want me to stay on the phone. So yeah, I think if I was the person on the other end of the phone and I called to talk about something very important, or I just need my friend's attention, and she's not giving 100% of it, I think that I would not feel so good. And it's not very easy to understand that if you're not a mom yourself. So sometimes I just like, okay, I don't know. I hope they become a mom so they understand this. And sometimes I feel comfortable when it's me talking to another mother on the phone, and they're like, oh, I understand, you know, you just have to go. But I am so appreciative of those close friends that try their best to understand, even though they're not mothers themselves, and they just give me time. They know that I am still their friend, and they just give me time. And then of course you start to look out for mom friends, because there's so many things you want to know. You know, you're always looking out for someone who has lived through this, who has experienced this. So you always reach out to people who are living similar life to you. So that in that aspect, I have actually gained a few mom friends, and I'm happy about that. And I'm still looking for new mom friends. So if you're a new mom, you can hit me up in the comment section below, you know. So like I mentioned, I had a stillbirth. So my pregnancy with my son was filled with anxiety. I was always terrified. I was scared. And because of that, I occupied my mind. I occupied myself with work. I was working, I think, up to a month and a half before I gave birth. I wasn't exactly looking for a job at that time, but I did. And it really helped me to not sit and think or be sad. So I was always anxious, but at the same time, I was so grateful that I was going on this journey. I mean, within a space of 1 year. So for me, it was a mixed feeling. It's hard to explain, but it's like joy and grief coexisting, if that makes sense. And my pregnancy was smooth. I wasn't one of those women who had you know, the morning sickness and all that. I was so energetic. I was so full of life. I was energetic. So that was also a good thing for me. Of course, you get very tired. You have the back aches and all that. But I really would say that I enjoyed my pregnancy. I think I've answered this somehow in my previous questions, but I would just add a little something here. So yeah, I think responsibility comes to mind. You know that you are responsible for this little human who is 100% dependent on you for everything, for life itself, for food, for just attention. And also your life changes in a way that you don't want to do something stupid or things that you would regret or things that this child would tomorrow see and be ashamed of. So having to look after this person has made me even more responsible. Like, I'm aware of my actions. I know that I will not just up and go, you know. I would also do anything within my power to protect him and also make sure that he feels loved. I think this depends on the person, your partner, which is why you should be 100% open and be able to talk about these things genuinely. So, of course, as a woman, you are breastfeeding. Your whole focus, your whole time and energy is on this child. You also don't really know what you're doing all the time. So of course, your attention is focused on this little human, and maybe it kind of makes your partner feels like you no longer give as much as attention to him as before, which is normal. Once you're open, you find your rhythm, you talk about it, it will sort itself out. You know yourself, but I'm going to answer that. I don't even know if I should answer this question, but I will, because I feel like there are women who are out there that really want to know, and I also wanted to know, but there were not enough information out there. So because of the few women who were brave enough to share their story openly, I think that I owe it back to them to also share mine, and which is why I'm actually doing this video in the first place. So thank you to everyone who put out information out there, because people really want to know. Now back to the question. Intimacy, it is something again that you have to talk about, because a lot has happened down there, up here, everywhere, you know, physically. And I always believe that for a woman to be intimate, she has to be ready here before, you know, down there. I don't know how to put this, but you get it. You get it. So if a woman is deprived of sleep, she's thinking of what, I'm not doing anything right, you know, she's just stressed out, I don't think that she would be in the mood to be intimate with her partner. And maybe it works also like that for men, I don't know. But if you're open, again, like I've said, if you talk about these things, you talk about these things. But most importantly, this is like a tip, I think that it's very important for couples to realize that they were before this child, and at some point even this child is going to grow, and they will still be, it will just be them, it will just be them. Their relationship is very important also for that child, because you want your child to grow up to see that my parents really love each other, because that's what you're mirroring that to them. So yeah, make out time, be deliberate, and even if it's just an hour, you could seek help from someone, you know, look after the baby for an hour, and while I go out to have maybe a drink or just sit by the fire or even in bed and just talk about what has been going on. And you never know when that spark will happen. But for me, because the question was directed at me, how has intimacy been? I don't know if I should say my own, no, but it took time. Is that enough? Okay. Yes, I have done that. I'm guilty, and I think that every mother would relate. So first, with the whole snapback thing, when you go on social media, you see someone who had a cesarean. I had a cesarean. 2 days later, they are already on heels and jeans. I'm like, where's this car, you know? And you see the bodies are back. Do not be deceived. Some waist train is going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but it didn't work for me like that. So yeah, I kind of found myself comparing. And also with the development of your child, you When I remember when my son was 6 months and he was always, you know, he was teething, and I would look at, there's a mom I follow and I'll look at her son, oh, he already has teeth at 6 months. How come my son doesn't have teeth at 6 months? And his teeth didn't actually come out till he was 7 months. So he was teething from like 4 months or so. And yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit, but now I don't really care. Why? Because nobody knows my son like I do. I know him so well, and I just feel like each child is unique, each child is different. For example, yesterday when I went to get him toothbrush from the pharmacy, the lady at the pharmacy was just telling me, oh, congrats, your son has tooth now. I said, no, I'm actually waiting for the upper one. She said, oh, lucky you. My daughter's first 2 teeth came out while she was 9 to 10 months. So you see, she was saying to me, you know, lucky you, it came out quite early. I don't think that it's even necessary to compare yourself. If you want to learn something from that mother, why not? But that comparison, it would not do you good, eh? My social life is dead. No, on a serious note, I'm just starting to go out, which obviously because we've been home for 3 months, about 3 months because of the lockdown. But even before then, so I had friends that like I said, I used to go out to hang out with, and also I like to go out on my own, and it just started to pick up my social life, and then the whole COVID thing. So I hope to go back to the way it used to be. I mean, not completely, but I sometimes just hang out with my friend who lives close by. We go for a walk. That's enough for now for me, and that does a lot of good to my mental health. Just going out, even if it's just for my own walk, alone, my me time, that helps me a lot. My son started sleeping through the night, I think just 2 months ago. I think he was 7 months old when he started sleeping through the night, and that required a lot of going online, you know, sleep training, learning. I'm still learning because he wakes up pretty much early. That's because he goes to bed early, I think, but he wakes up at 6 o'clock, and that's when the sleep just starts to enter gear 5 for me. And yeah, but I'm happy he's sleeping through the night. So yeah, so I have come to the end of this question and answers. I hope that I got to answer your questions very well. Please remember that this is my own unique journey, and I'm very glad that I have the platform to do this. I am also thankful for you guys for even asking these questions. If you still have other questions, because I feel like you can't really talk about motherhood in just one video. It won't do justice. I haven't even gone anywhere about it. This is just like on the surface answers, but they are true and they are honest answers. So if you still want me to answer some questions, you can leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe if you also want to see more videos like this. This is different from the normal videos that I usually make, but this is part of me. Like I said in my first video when I came on YouTube, that I will be sharing a little bit about motherhood, because that's who I have become. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.